Hello, everyone, and welcome to that Eurovision podcast and that Eurovision site. And yeah, we were absolutely thrilled again to be joined by yet another artist. And this time round, it is Gjon's Tears from Switzerland.
Woo!
Uh,
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. I hope
how are
you're
you
good.
doing?
I'm fine. I'm trying to do some interviews now because after the releasing of my song, I wasn't so I wanted to really take time for me because I was also really doubting about how the people will react with the song, and so I was kind of frustrated 2 weeks before the releasing, and also we had a lot of little problems, like for example we lost 70% of the images of the video, so we needed to find a solution. I mean, I was so in a hurry and in a bad mood that I didn't want to make so many interviews, and now I just realized, I mean, 2 weeks ago I was like, okay, I'm gonna have 5 days of nothing because I need to stay at home. Should I watch movie? And I was like, yeah, I would love, but I think it's better if I take that time to speak with people because it's better.
Mm.
Yeah.
And obviously
Yeah.
we're saying thank you so much just for giving us that time, and hopefully now you're ready for it all and all of this kind of stuff. Um, yeah, just to kind of get started, like what how was it to know that finally, like your song is finally out in the world to l'univers, and it's like people are listening to it.
I'm feeling quite. I'm feeling proud, and also it's crazy because I couldn't imagine. If you asked me this 2 years ago, I mean 3 years ago, I couldn't imagine what happened in such a short amount of time. Because at least it's just 3 years in life, so it's like, of course, it's a lot, and at the same time, it's nothing because like so many things. So I'm super happy, and of course, I'm just looking forward to see then after what's gonna happen because. I want to make my, I'm gonna make my album, so I'm working on it and those things. So I'm like thinking about the future, and also because now it's been more than a year and a half that I'm waiting for those 3 minutes for Rotterdam. So I really hope everything will be fine and there will be no problem with the COVID test and those things that will stop me. And I really don't want to use that live on tape because I'm really not proud of that live on tape. I mean, we shot that in February, so I mean, if you ask me if I'm more ready than in February, I mean the question is like real, like I'm clearly more prepared now than in February. So um, I am waiting for that moment, really like in an impassioned way, and yeah, I really go to that stage and to sing my song, and I hope people will like it.
It must be so exciting. So I was really interested. You said I can't remember where I read it that there was an English version of To l'Univers called Ground Zero.
Yeah.
And I was really interested in finding out sort of was there any differences in the lyrics, sort of what it means, what sort of messages you were trying to get across in
So
the English versus the French versions.
mm, So actually, I met Nina Sempermans, an author composer from Belgium, and I worked also with Wouter Hardy, so a composer and a producer from Netherlands, and so we did that camp together, the three of us, and so when we were speaking about the song, Nina said. Ground Zero, and I was like, "What's this?" Because in French it doesn't exist, and I was like, "Okay." When I saw that, I directly was. I mean, I've been directly fascinated by that expression because first it doesn't exist in French, and also because it's like really cruel, and at the same time it sounds a bit positive because I mean, for me, when you say ground zero, it means of course the center of an atomic explosion, and then the signification changed a bit with the 11th of September 2001. So I mean, but I like the fact that it was like zero, like we started from nothing, like it's a real restart. And I wanted to concretely describe that feeling of being in an explosion and having to reconstruct everything. And so that's why, I mean, the song is clearly speaking about, I mean, in French, is clearly speaking about the fact that I'm receiving an explosion and I have to choose, I have to fight or to give up. And I think that the answer is like, I want to fight. That's why I'm saying tout l'univers, because in French you say, I want to see further, I want to project myself. So it's like really in an optimistic way. And I really think that in every bad experience, you can take something, always something positive from it. So it means like you can rebuild it the way you want to rebuild it. And so that's of course like a concrete situation, but it's of course a metaphor. So it's like someone's death or a breakup can be that explosion in your life and makes you rebuild it everything. And so, as I said, you have to choice. You can fight against that and like trying to think in the future and to say, okay, now it's a shitty time, but I have to make my plan, and I'm thinking about the future, and I know that, for example, I can put to myself some goals for the future. And so I wanted to have that cycle of life concretely. I wanted to have like that hope in that song. And also for me, it's not a sad song, it's really like a warrior song. It's like I'm gonna fight, and I want to stay optimistic, because I have to still say, I have to see the whole universe. It means also like sometimes we have the feeling that we have lived not everything but enough of things, and we can be okay if, for example, life decides to take us and put us under the floor. But I'm sure that we have always that opportunity to, I mean, we didn't have see the whole space, so we have still things to leave. And that was like the optimistic message. And also I wanted more visually then to have it also the fact that the only person that can help us more than anyone else is ourselves, so we should take care of that, and also that energy is inside of us and we need to understand that. So that's why in the video I'm taking myself out of the car, and I have the cycle of, also we can see the cycle in the video, because I start the video where I end it, and we can see that kind of space, that kind of for me, I see it as a hope, but it's more interpretation. But for me, we have those three main themes that were really concretely important for me, and we have it actually in English too. That was the idea of the lyric when we started, but everything started with Ground Zero, and I mean, I'm gonna show you like the I can show you just like a piece of the version in English. Letting it all unfold without a hand to hold all corners of my mind. There is no room to hide in the end where I begin. Nothing but dust and sands to rise above and grow. I have to let you go. I love it when your echoes come to life. But heart has made a ruin of my mind.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No, that's cool. I'm happy to share it with you. So yeah, that's a little bit like the whole explanation of the thing.
I guess my question would be, Switzerland haven't won Eurovision in a very long time. I think the last time was 1988 with Celine Dion. How would it feel to win Eurovision for your country after so many years?
That would be amazing. I mean, I would be super happy and proud of that, and especially because, I one of the reason I would love to win Eurovision, it's, I mean, first I think that I never won anything in my life, so it would be for my ego uh, a good thing, because I would be like, yeah, all those times where I mean, I also understand that it's not so important to win, because it's the process during you're not winning that you're always working, because you are not saying, oh, I won, so now I don't need to work. So I always like worked and worked, and I'm happy at the same time that I never want something, because otherwise I will never be here where I am now. But at the same time, I think that now I would love to have that validation. I mean, I would love to have that, yeah, that congratulation, like, hey, you did it, and I would be like super happy. And also the second reason, I mean, that is really important for me. It's like, you know, here in Switzerland, we don't have so many structures for actual music. It's always like classical music. And when you are making actual music, it's not like a real job. So I really would love to show, to 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 take the attention to Switzerland, so people can see that we have all, like, we have other artists. Like, for example, it happens with Stromae in Belgium. When he became really famous, then like, really the music industry really was taking care of what was happening there. And then we saw Angèle, and then and you know, and there are always new artists, like, they are becoming pretty famous from those places, and uh, really um, they really like gave the attention to Belgium. And I hope I will have the same power if I win. That's one of the reasons I would love to win. Then I really think that, I mean, my personal goal, honestly, is to be in the first five position, because it would mean that what I did had a certain quality, and that would be for me a really beautiful way to say bravo. And so yeah, that would be for me my personal goal. But also, with all of this contest, I really understood that the winner is not necessarily the best. It's always the most likable. And sometimes you have really good quality, but if it's not in a certain style, or if in a certain genre of music, it's not winning, because it's like not too accessible. So people are like, oh, okay, it's good, but no, I don't like rock, or I don't like electro. Uh, so yeah, so I think if I am in the five first position, I would be really, really happy, and my goal will be touched.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment, last time I checked, you were in the top three in the to win with sort of bookmakers. So I think it's quite likely that you will end up having that dream. Fingers crossed, anyway.
We never know. Sometimes I mean, a reason why I like to do those things, it's also because I love to challenge myself. I don't know if I like to suffer or I don't know what's my problem, but I don't know what is my problem, but like the thing is, like, I like to challenge myself. I like to do those things, but when you're challenging yourself in such big shows, like, for example, The Voice or now Eurovision, you can fail, and if you fail, everybody sees that you are failing. So I know, like, so that's why I'm also really a perfectionist, and I like to make. I like to make things with a lot of work behind those things. So maybe I should just, and I hope that Eurovision will calm me down and will say, hey, now just don't try again to challenge yourself, and just stay now where you are and make your own music, and don't put any pressure. But I think now I'm in that mood. I'm really happy to have challenged myself so much, but now I think I have to rest a bit, because it was I mean, since my 8 years old, my life was a roller coaster all the time, and now I would love to enjoy the fact of having my feet on the floor, because when I was down, I mean, when I was again my feet on the floor, like the normal normal life, I was like, no, I need to do something else, and then again the roller coaster. So yeah, I would love to enjoy more just my life.
Mm. You said that it was like you're very much like a perfectionist, and like you don't really stop. It's very like a very stressful process. So what do you kind of do to relax? I seem to remember maybe that you had some goats or something.
Yeah, I have goats. I have a dog. Now I mean, my father, it's my father who takes really care of the goats, but he likes, that's so funny. He likes to exchange. How can I say that? For example, we had goats, but he exchanged them with sheep.
Okay.
So now we have sheep, and I'm sure in a month we will have a pony, or we already had. But I mean, he likes to make like some deal, like I give you 3 chicken, you give me 1 goat, and like it's always funny. So I mean, what relaxes me is movies, honestly, because for me, music became my work. So I'm doing music passionately, but music is not my passion. And because when you're going into the music industry, you understand that there are more economy stuff, low stuff, administration stuff than just singing and composing. So I cannot say now that my music is my passion. I can just say that I'm making music passionately. But the other things like administration, I hate administration. I'm so bad. I mean, I'm not an economist at all. If you give me money, I spend it through cinema, through eating with all my friends, and I'm like, then I'm broke. So I'm not so good in all of those things. I think I just that's why I'm saying that I do music passionately. And so my biggest passion now is cinema, and I love to see movies, and I like to see movies director after director, to see their work, and also it inspires me a lot. For example, for Répondez-moi, I really was inspired by Andrei Tarkovsky, who is a Russian director, and like the way he filmed, the way he constructed his movie, for me, it was really different than the others, and he always took not like like that's the wave, and he's like taking another road and another way, and that's why what I support. I love artists who dare and who try things, and even if they fail, and that's beautiful, because that mean at least you see that they are human, and that's the most important thing, because I mean, the idea is not to be perfect. The idea is just to be to touch people and to be normal. I mean, to be a human. So I like to see also those fail, and so yeah. And you are great for that. I mean, you are good for that in UK. You have crazy talented inspiration. I mean, I'm in love with David Bowie, with Grace Jones, especially with yeah. I mean, for me, that's the artist that at the beginning of their career, it was hard for them, and even people could throw them tomato, and now they are icons for us. So that's so good.
Is it too difficult a question to ask what your favorite film is, or what film you'd recommend people see?
That's a really good question, and that's a good way. I mean, the way you just said it was really subtle. So yeah. So my favorite movie wouldn't be a movie I will recommend, um, because it touched me really deeply, and that's the first movie I watched that made me have that passion, I think, about movies, because after that movie I almost watched a movie every day. So like really I mean, that movie really created something in me, and that movie is La Pianiste. So it's not The Pianist, it's like it's also not the the pianist from Jane Campion with that no, it's not that. It's an Austrian movie, a movie from Michael Haneke, and there is 2 French actors in it. And this movie completely disturbed me, um, because it was a story of a pianist who still believes in her career, but for the classical world, she's too old, and her mom is still like, yeah, you have to be like. It reminded me a bit of Black Swan, that moment when the dancer, when Natalie Portman is at home, and like her mother is like, yeah, you should sleep, you should. And that's a bit, honestly, there is a big parallel, I just realized now, and it's a bit the same. And it's also the same situation. She lives with her mother, she even sleep like they have 2 bed of one places, and they sleeping one like next to the other. And I mean, there are so many it touches me so much, because my most important values are sincerity and innocence. And for me, innocence means to have to have the willing of discovering things, and to want to know new things all the time. And it looks like she fell in love in that movie, but it looks like it's for the first time. And because she doesn't know how to manage that love, she goes in a cinema X, like to see how to make love. I mean, how to make sex more, and so she can really understand what it is. And then she thinks that she's doing in the right way, but she's it's not natural at all. When I mean, just when she's explaining what she wants and like the way she fall in love is so weird, and she's not being understandable, and like the story is like, I mean, I don't know why, but I just imagine myself like, if for example now everything goes well, and imagine if it's not working then, and I will be I mean in 50 years maybe, or in 40 years maybe, no one will be will want to see me on stage. And so I just imagine the situation. Imagine I'm broke, I'm coming back at home, I'm with my mother and trying to think that maybe I will never have a career again, but I will trying to have that career again, and that I will forget what my life was, what love is, or like, I don't know why I just made the parallel. So that's why I'm not recommending this movie. It just touched me completely. But I will recommend you Wheels from 2014, because it's an incredible movie, and also the story of the movie is incredible. It's an independent movie from a director, from United States, who made a movie about. I think it's about himself. Sorry, it's going to be really long, but yeah. So no, so I'm just going faster. Yeah, and he's making, like, he did a movie about his life, and he's in a roll chair. And so but what I liked also, it's like, even if it wasn't in a roll chair, the story works, and it's not like the main thing. But he's in a roll chair. He's the director of the movie. He's also the main actor, and he produced that movie alone. And he paid that movie by being a tester for medicines in United States. So he said, "Test your medicines on me, and so give me money, and so I can finance my movie." And he did that for 13 years. So I think, I mean, it's just crazy. And also the story, it's like a story of a depressed man in a roll chair, who wants to kill himself, but he has no courage to do it. So he asks another person, and finally they become friends. But I mean, yeah, and the whole story is beautiful, and the way it is filmed, it's beautiful, and that's the only movie he did. And yes, that's a really that's a beautiful movie. I will recommend, because I really had like it touched me really deeply, and it's a beautiful story. And also, I said, like, the more you go into the story of the movie, the more you are like getting sensitive, and you're like, no, that's not possible. How did they do that? Oh my God, that's not. Yeah, and that's. I mean, yeah.
It sounds like such a great film. I'll definitely be watching it, I think.
Nice. Wheels, like the yeah.
I guess my last question would be, have you listened to any of the other Eurovision songs for this year? And if you have, what are some of your personal favorites?
So, like last year, I had the reaction to listen to every of them, and I didn't feel really comfortable, because I started to compare, and I was like, we cannot compare because we're completely different. But I was like, oh, what a great idea! Why didn't I do that? And then I felt a bit stupid, and so that this year I didn't want to do the same, but I just like looked at the recap videos, and I was like, okay, let's just see. And I did like quite late, and so. I discovered really like big surprises that, I mean, I can give you a top five, not like just one, but I really loved a discotheque from The Roop, because I think the production is really cool, and that's a really cool song. I love Daddy from Iceland, and I met him in a riding camp, and he's really cool, and the way he produced his song is like amazing. And I really love the fact that it's really local, and they are like doing this with his friend, with his girlfriend, I think also. Like, it's like really like really local, and full of humanity. So that's what I love. Um, I also love Karma from Angela because I like the fact that she's singing in Albanian, of course, and also like the different register in her song. I love also Voila from Barbara Pravi because I think it's a nice concept, and also Amnesia from Roxanne. I love that song. I discovered it really lately, but I really had a musical crush on that song. I mean, and now it's just before our call, I just listened to a live session version she just recorded. She just shared it in the Eurovision channel, and I mean, I love that song, and I love also the video, the concept of that contemporary dance, and yeah, I loved it a lot.
Wow, you've got a really nice range there. I think you're definitely one to maybe go for an underdog. Maybe I like that. But yeah, so just as like a final kind of question, like what do the next couple of weeks hold? And yeah, if you also have a sort of final message just for our viewers, that'd be really helpful as well.
Um, hmm. So what I mean, those weeks I'm gonna be. I hope I'm not gonna fail, and I hope I'm gonna the rehearsal and everything will go uh, good and go well because as I said, I just afraid to be too impassioned because I was waiting that moment, and so I don't want to rush. I just want to take my time. So I hope I will take my time like I should there. And I mean, as a final message, I would just say thank you for your support. Thank you for this time. And thank you for the way you listen to me because it's really important. You know, I'm saying all the time in articles here in Switzerland because it's different when you do like in front of you with you when you have a conversation. I'm always saying journalists are like, "Oh, you're speaking a lot. You're speaking really quickly, like fastly," and I'm always saying the same. I mean, I know that now we are listening to me, you are listening to me, but maybe in 2 years I will be nobody, and you know you will not listen to me again. But so that's why I really want to share all the messages I want to share. And so for that, thank you for this support. That means a lot for me. And yeah, and so just take care of yourself. And I hope that this Eurovision season will be a special season for you, edition for you, and yeah, just enjoy.
Oh, fantastic. Well, faleminderit shumë
Oh wow!
and merci beaucoup aussi. Thank you so much just for giving us some time.
No, thanks to
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
sharing
much.
everything you have to share with us. We
And
love it
thank
just
you
as
for
much
the
as
great listeners. Thank you. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Thank you
Like
so
yeah,
much.
just thank you so much for like taking your time to like have an interview with us because yeah.
We're only a small little place at the minute. We're only a small little site, so we're only just growing. So that you know, it means a lot.
Oh, thank you. No, but I hope. Yeah, I hope. I mean, I can see that you're happy, and I'm happy too. So, yep.
Fantastic. Thank you
Nice.
so much. Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
fantastic day. Bye.